Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking you through how you benchmark for your restaurant. This is a really useful strategy in terms of increasing your footfall and getting people to come in. So, what exactly is benchmarking? It's analysing your competition, finding out what they do to bring people in and doing it better than them ultimately. So, what you do first of all, before you start off with any of this stuff, what you got to do is you got to go around to all of the different businesses in your area, and you got to keep an eye on them and just see which of these businesses is getting the most traffic, because these are the ones that you really want to copy. All right, because they've got systems that are designed to bring people in. So first of all, you've got to find out which of these businesses are the most powerful. So you want to pick maybe one or two of these businesses and really focus on what they're using in terms of their marketing strategies to bring people in. And they're probably using the same kind of techniques. So for example, you can go out of your restaurant and just basically look at these other businesses and see which of them have consistently got the most traffic. So let's say they're running events. Go to those events, check them out, find out what kind of personalities people like to come and see. Let's say they do live music or something like that. You want to find out every single strategy that they're using to bring people in. So how do we do this sort of thing? Well, when it comes to social media, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram. I don't really recommend Instagram marketing for restaurants because although you get loads and loads of interactions and stuff, I've never really had very successful Instagram campaigns compared to Facebook campaigns. So I think Facebook is still the best tool to market for your restaurant. But what you want to be doing is you want to look at what they're doing on their Facebook pages, and you want to make similar sort of posts. The thing is, what people like is they like consistency in life, which means that when you're marketing out locally, these businesses that are potentially doing much better than yours, what they've done is that they understand how the local people feel. So, for example, at the moment I'm in Essex, right? Which means that if I go and I try and market in Suffolk, or I try and go and market in Yorkshire, or I go to the United States or Germany, there are going to be completely different methods of marketing in these areas, because people in different areas have got different ways that they think. And what you need to do is you need to be uniform to the area that you're in. So any advice that I give you in terms of marketing, it will work in certain areas, and you can be very specific, but you've got to understand what people are like within the area. And a good way of doing this is to look at what local businesses are posting on Facebook and see the ones which are getting the most and the best reactions, because this is these things are the ones which you need to be copying. So that's kind of going through the social media. You need to copy what other people are doing and do it better than them. Let's say that they're putting out, say, really nice pictures of food all of the time. You can do really nice pictures of food, you can do videos of food, and I recommend having a couple of staff in there smiling. You want to have a personal touch to your business. Having pictures of your staff is a really good thing. But what you want to be doing is you want to be doing the same kind of things on social media that they're doing. So when it comes down to it, social media is really important. And another thing that's important is checking out their business profile. Look at the way that they're interacting with other customers. So when someone complains, whenever someone responds with positive, and they give a good review, what you do is you copy the style of response. The only time that I would argue against this is if they're saying negative things to people. You should always be positive. That's how you upgrade. That's how you do things at the next level. Because every time that you put a negative response, that makes your business look bad. That's a badvert on every response. So you want to avoid that kind of thing. What you want to do is you want to be really nice underneath and really friendly to people and supportive, and apologize if there's a problem, and just accept all of the fault and blame. And the reason you do this is because whenever anyone reads that negative comment, and they will look for it, they will see a lovely, nice response underneath, and that is an advert for your business saying, hey, we're really good people. You know, we're fully prepared to accept when there's a problem. It really breeds a really good customer dynamic. So this is what you really want to be doing. So that's your social media. Look at their website. Are they blogging? If they're not blogging, you should be blogging. Blogging is one of the things that I love to do. I've got an entire course based on blogging. In most simple terms, 1,500 words per blog, and you just talk about all of the different dishes, all of the different foods and stuff that you have. You can do so much with blogs. I've actually got a course on blogging on this channel. Feel free to check it out. I will put a link in the video description. So anyway, look at the website, go through, analyze it, find out how much information they've got on there. You need to do better. You can make your site, even if your site's a bit janky or anything, just neaten everything up. Try and copy the sort of beautiful style of websites and make things look really, really nice. Because when people have got a nice website, and I usually recommend using dark websites these days, like using dark colors rather than using light colors, mainly because so many people are getting used to using apps now with the dark color scheme, and most people will be viewing your site on a mobile. Your site does need to be built originally for a mobile, because most people who are looking at your business will be looking at it through a mobile. But just going back to Google, when it comes to things, your business, you desperately need to you desperately need to look at responding to all of your comments. Make sure that you always do that and have control over your Google business profile. That is going to really benefit your business if you focus on that. And if they're not posting to their Google business profile, do a post every now and then. It will help you, because it will show that your business profile is really active. So even if people aren't leaving comments, you can do that kind of thing. The whole purpose of benchmarking is not just to copy what someone else is doing, but in order to master it, you've got to do it better. I'll give you an example. Today, I went to an Indian restaurant with my mum. We had a really good time. She wanted, for some reason, to talk to me about marketing and stuff, because I think she's got a crush on one of our waiters. But the thing is, it's like I took her out of the business, and the first thing I said was, first of all, we've got to understand the location. You know, we're in a really small town, very, very little footfall. They've got they've got one business, one side of them that's a pub. They've got two other pubs that are both either side. So I basically said, okay, you want to understand this, you're coming with me. So we went and we walked to them, and I said, well, what's the difference? And I pointed to these big sandwich boards outside with chalk written on them, and they had all of the deals and things like that on them, and they were there in the moment. They had these things. The Indian restaurant didn't have these things. So I basically took her through this thing. We observed each of these businesses. How are they doing well? What are they doing? Well, all of them are running a Sunday lunch. We went for Sunday lunch. Why is the Indian business not doing as well? Well, there are many different reasons for this, but what have we learned? What advice can we give to the Indian restaurant? Instead of doing a Sunday lunch, what you need to do, because you've got three businesses that are next to each other that are packed for Sunday lunch, what you need to do is focus on something like an evening meal deal instead. That is a much better way to do things. So, for example, if you're looking at the competition, if you can't beat the pubs, and you're not going to be able to beat pubs very easily for like a Sunday lunch meal, it's very, very hard to do. I've done it for a number of different Indian restaurants. It's very hard to beat pubs. So when it comes down to it, you've got to look at adapting your strategy to deal with things in a different way, because they're not doing an evening meal. So you find out what they're doing. They're already winning in this thing. So you think, okay, the quick fix is to change the time and find a way to get people in at the different time, make the meal special for some reason, whatever. But it's like just looking at things, I noticed something really, really quickly, and that is, I saw that all of these businesses, the way that their lighting works outside, they're missing something. And the thing that would make this restaurant stand out better than anything else is a big neon sign in their window saying open, with an arrow to their door, because their door is not easy to access in terms of it's not very visible. And I think that this is something which is really, really dangerous in terms of location. You've got to be very smart when it comes to location. But when you're actually analysing a business and looking at it, you've got to find all of the different points of failure that other businesses are succeeding in that you're not. So let's look at different systems. Go into these businesses, just have a couple of drinks, Have a little look at the layout. Do they have QR codes? Do they have marketing systems? Do they have all of these different things that are designed to bring people back? Do they have deals up on the walls? It's very hard to compete with this kind of stuff as an Indian restaurant, but how can you do that? Well, there's usually a waiting area. So what you can do is you can have a couple of your deals up in the waiting area with the QR code. You can have all sorts of different ways to deal with this stuff. I'm going to make videos on how to do all of these different things, and I will take people through absolutely everything that they need to make a restaurant successful. I've run successful marketing campaigns for a restaurant that was in Romford, in a place where it was almost impossible to get people in, with massive amounts of local competition that was very, very good, and I kept that restaurant alive for a very, very long time. So when it comes down to it, there are lots and lots of marketing techniques that I've even learned since then, so I can help you with your business. So when it comes down to it, you've got to think, oh, my competition running Facebook ads? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? What can I do and do it better? So by analysing all of these different things, like the social media, the website, you go in, you analyse the business from visuals, and you find out, you think, well, maybe I can put a sandwich board somewhere. They've not got a very visible car park. How can you make the car park more visible? The whole point is to find ways to make your business stand out. It's got to be a broken thumb in a nursery. You've got to scream, and everyone's got to look at your business. So the most important thing is actually don't scream on your social media. That'll be bad for you. But when it comes down to actually putting your business out there and making it stronger, analysing the competition, looking through everything that they're doing, like if they've got a marketing system, if they've got a loyalty system, find a way to do it and do it better than them. Look at the way that their systems work. And the best way to do this is to go in and experience the business yourself. One of my friends absolutely refuses to come with me to other restaurants. I say, well, you should come to this restaurant and experience what it's like. And it's like, when I finally get someone to come with me and go to another restaurant, I say, well, what's that on the wall? That's a clip frame. What's in that clip frame? Something that can be changed. They can put all sorts of things in a clip frame, swap it over. It's very useful. But this is something that business has not got. And the only reason we know that is because we've gone inside, we've looked. What's the food like in the business? Do we need to increase the quality of the food? Go there, have a meal, have a really good time, be friendly. They're neighbours. You might as well be nice to them. And you can even... it's very, very hard to get restaurant owners to agree on anything. But you know, they will look after you and they will be friendly to you. They may even come to your business as well and just say, hey, we run the place next door, and we just thought we'd come over for dinner. You know, the whole world of restaurant marketing, even though you may feel like it is very, very aggressive, it's not, because people know what business they want to go to when they want to go out to eat. The majority of the time they do. And you've got to really, really think about how you're appearing and where you're appearing. It's like, for example, are you on TripAdvisor? Are they on TripAdvisor? Do they say, leave us a TripAdvisor review? If so, why aren't you doing it? The whole point of analysing the business and going through it and finding out all these different things is because you need to be doing it, and you need to be doing it at a higher level. And if you do it at a higher level, then you've got an advantage. So let's go back to this Indian restaurant. What is the power of the Indian restaurant? You've got one pub one side, you've got two pubs the other side. What does it have? It's a niche, all right? Across the road, you've got a Chinese, all right? They're a niche because you're in an area where you've got mostly pubs, but you're also in an area where you've got other niche businesses. And if they're the only Indian restaurant in the area, that gives them an appeal. Because all of these pubs, they will have their own different marketing systems. They'll be competing with each other in this way. So what you've got to do is you've got to think, okay, I can use my niche appeal in order to sell to people. The thing is, by analysing what your competition's doing, you're actually increasing your ability to do your job better, and your job is to get people in. There is no point doing the best food in the world if no one's there to eat it. Right? There's no point in having the nicest looking place in the world if no one's there to experience the atmosphere. There's no point in having all of these beautiful things that make up a business. And when it comes down to it, there are so many ways to market when it comes to restaurants. I mean, I'll give you an example. This Indian restaurant, what I really like is they know coriander very, very well, right? So let's say you're eating chicken tikka, you have like fresh coriander, and that coriander is nice and it's just wet and fresh and really, really good. Now when it comes to lamb tikka, what they do is they quickly burn the coriander in the frame, and it creates a more crisp sort of taste, but it's still fresh, and it's got like this incense kind of taste out of it because of the way that they cook it. And all they do is they just blitz it round very, very quickly in the fire, and then they put it on with the lamb. And with that, they manage to make the spices work really, really well. So it's like, why am I talking about coriander? Because when it comes to it, it's an Indian restaurant. What do they do which is really, really good? They've got smells. Smells is good. Sensory marketing, you bring people in. Now, when in the middle of the night, if you put a big neon sign outside your restaurant and nobody else has got one, all right, what you need to do, what you're doing is you're bringing people in because they will see that sign because it stands out. It's there. It's very visible. So the thing is, you've got to really look at everything that your competition's doing and do it better than them. And the thing is, you need to pick the most successful businesses in the area, because if you're not picking the most successful, you're not understanding the psychology of the people in the area. Location, location, location is the most important thing when it comes to a restaurant. And it is a nightmare if you're in a bad location. I've run marketing campaigns and we've been very successful even in bad areas, but it's just about finding what works, and that's got to be tailored to the locals. And who knows locals better than pub owners, right? Pub owners have got a real knack when it comes to dealing with locals. So if you've got a successful pub in the area, they understand how to market, they understand how to interact with people, and they know what works. So these are the kind of people that you need to copy. And the thing is, it's like when you go in, you've got to observe all of these different systems that they've got in place. Look at the walls. Do they have QR codes up? Do they have rate us like messages on the wall? Do they have all of these positive things that could potentially help business? So you've got to really, really analyze all of that and take it all on board. Now, when it comes down to it, there are so many different ways to market your restaurants. If you really, really want to learn a lot more about it, just watch my restaurant marketing videos. There are so many of them, and all of them give different tips that you can use to increase your business. Now, the most important thing for me when it comes to a restaurant business is I need to, first of all, make sure flow is really, really good. You need to remove all obstacles from a business which could get in the way, trip things up, and make things irritating in terms of flow. If you have to remove a table or two in your restaurant in order to make it so that your staff can move around more fluidly, there's no interruptions, no spillages, things like that, sometimes that can be a really good thing. I mean, if you're not busy to the point where you're absolutely full every night, you don't need those extra tables. So it's about finding ways to optimize your business and run it as fast as possible and in the best way possible, because you do not want obstacles in the way. Anyway, that's just basically an opening to benchmarking. Hopefully it will help, and you should be analyzing your local competition. If you ever need any help with it, feel free to hit me up, just leave a comment and say hi. Catch you later. Bye.